Hey LAN Party gamers! Welcome to the Ruben H. Fleet Science Center, where today we're checking out Game Masters. This is an all game-related, video game-related exhibit here at the Fleet Science Center, and we're going to be seeing games from the past, as well as more modern games, and even computer and phone games through the years. Let's check it out! The first thing we see when we enter the exhibit is the arcade heroes. Now, as you might imagine, we're going to see a lot of old and classic arcade hits, from Donkey Kong to Defender, and even a little bit of Missile Command. You can play all of these arcade games, and not only that, you get to learn about the people behind them. You get to learn about the lead developers, the story behind the game, and a little bit about the people who made them. It's really exciting to see these stories directly from the people who made the games. And the best thing is, there are no quarters required. So let's go and play some of these games. Come with me. Some of the games that are at the exhibit go as far back as almost 40 years. As you can see with this GB arcade cabinet. This is a game from Mr. Iwatani, who might be better known for making PacMan. This was actually created several years before PacMan was even around. So some of these arcade cabinets go back nearly 40 years, just like this one here. The Arcade Heroes exhibit is like stepping back into the world of Tron. I feel like I'm inside of Flynn's arcade. So if going back and seeing these old arcades is something that you're interested, definitely come down to the exhibit here. But what we're going to check out now is some more modern games and a little bit of console history. So let's go check that out now. As we leave the Arcade Heroes, we're going into Game Changers. And the game that they're changing is the at-home market. So as games progressed and the size got smaller, we saw companies like Nintendo, TT, and Sonic, and Sega come up with the at-home market for video games. So as we progress through the exhibit here, we're going to see what people were doing in the late 80s and early 90s of video game history. So at the Game Changers section of the exhibit, you really get a hands-on idea of the types of games that brought these kinds of video games into the home. Developers like Nintendo, Sega, TT, bringing games like Sonic and Legends of Zelda and Mario and even Lego Batman right into your home TV screens. The games are still so popular, you see people from all generations stop by to play some of their favorite hits. So the entire exhibit is focusing not just on the games, but the developers themselves. So we have a lot of these interactive displays that you're actually getting an in-depth interview with the game designer straight from their mouth, or I guess maybe a translator in some cases. Here we're listening to Team Ico talk about their newest game, The Last Guardian. Pretty cool to listen to it straight from the mouth of the designer. We wouldn't be much of a PC gaming channel if we didn't showcase the home PC market within the exhibit. Behind me, we've got some really true examples of early PC gaming in Windows, with games like SimCity, and even Spore. There's even a place where you can play some newer PC games like StarCraft 2 on the systems that they have provided. Even Blizzard has their own corner of the exhibit, showing off both StarCraft, Warcraft, and even Diablo. It wouldn't be home PC gaming without some Bullfrog Entertainment games showing up here at the exhibit. We have some games that have come out from the woodworks, like Black and White, an old personal favorite of mine from back in the day, as well as a few others like Populous, and even Dungeon Keepers is out here for you to try out. But not only can you try out the games themselves on these old PCs, but you can even see some of the original artwork that Bullfrog came out with before the game's conception. It's really cool to see how these games progressed before they finally came out. So some of the oldest items in the collection at the event today are not even video games. Right here we're looking at certain artifacts from the Mickey Mouse collection that range back all the way to 1934, and some of which even helped the inspiration for the Epic Mickey games. If you're into Tim Schafer and his games, well, this is definitely the section for you. We have 4 Tim Schafer games that you're able to try out here at the exhibit, and even see some of the corresponding artwork that goes with the games. You can even play Brutal Legend without the excerpts cut out. And don't forget about the Tim Schafer homemade party bus that he made himself. Well, here we are at the rhythm gaming section, and here you can play games like Rock Band, Space Channel 5, Guitar Hero, and even Dance Central, where they've got a Kinect set up so that you and the kids can show off your moves here on the floor. It's been one of the most celebrated and fun areas for the kids to really show off what they've got and have a good time doing it. From Harmonix earlier titles, we're getting both frequency and amplitude, which you can play in full glory to show people exactly where a lot of these rhythm games get a lot of their history from. The great indie games that are shown off at the exhibit, games like the Behemoth, Notch from Minecraft, and some others. So let's go see exactly what indie games they're showing off here at Game Masters. So a big focus of the event here is not just the games, as we've mentioned, but the people who make them. So the two games on my left are from Sweden, showing you that not all video games come from the US or Japan. And as we know, Minecraft coming from the brain of Notch, this gives you a little bit of introduction to the maker themselves. Some of the biggest games are on some of the smallest platforms. We have Rovio with the hit game Angry Birds that pretty much everybody's played on their home phone by now. And they're from Finland, showing you once again that this is a multinational exhibit. And they're here to show off not just console, not just arcade, but every format of video gaming that you can think of. We're happy to see, even though this is a global exhibit, that our hometown of San Diego is represented by the Behemoth with games such as Castle Crashers, which has been part of this exhibit for over 5 years and running. So it's great to see that San Diego is still making a mark in the indie gaming scene. So this is the end of the Game Masters exhibit. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have, but just in case you wanted more or you wanted to take it home, they have their own game. Game Masters as a game is something that you get to do at the end with your friend, or if you've collected all the QR codes, you can download the Game Masters game app and unlock secret levels and more using the special codes, of which there are 3 hidden around the exhibit. It is your duty to find them. So I guess they call that the metagame, right? The game within the game? Well, anyway, this has been Brian with San Diego Land, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope to see you guys down here at the Reuben H. Fleet Science Center between now and the beginning of the year. This has got a few more months left within it. They're even doing an overnight event in the next week or so keep an eye on their social media and website. You can come down and hang out after dark and spend a lot more time here. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.